Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today we're going to be looking at some news. We've not done any news for a little while. It's been too many new card reveals, not enough news. We have 5 new GXs to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we don't have full translations of all of them. If we had full translations of all of them, I'd be doing 5 separate videos, and well, it would be awesome. I'd be having a lot of fun. As it is at the moment, we don't have full translations. We do have some information, and we have most of a translation of one of them. So we can at least have a gander, see what we can figure out. Now, Antoine Boulay, who is, as we all know by now, is a lovely man, he tweeted this picture at me yesterday. Now, we know there are going to be 2 new sets coming out. Champion Road and Dragonstorm. Fairly sure they're what the names are. And this image was taken from a video which apparently, rumour has it, is not actually supposed to have been posted yet. Whoopsie daisy. But it clearly shows 2 of the GXs from each of those particular sets. Now, starting off with Dragonstorm, it shouldn't surprise you to see that these are both, it looks like, dragon Pokemon. I'm not actually 100% sure on that. We have a Dragonite here that is definitely a dragon-type Pokemon. And we have a Reshiram here that honestly could be a fire-type. We can't really see. We know it's Reshiram. I'm fairly sure it's Reshiram. But of course, Reshiram is a fire dragon Pokemon. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, if I'm not aware, if you're not told you before, I am colorblind. So looking at tiny little blurry pictures to try and figure out what color the border is, not always my strongest suit. And we don't know too much about them. Now, I think it's fair to assume that Dragonite is going to have a very high HP. Now, if we play the comparison game, we can have a quick gander and say, hang on a second, Solgaleo had 160 HP as a Stage 2 in Guardians Rising. And Solgaleo GX had 150 HP. And similarly, Lunala had 160 HP in Guardians Rising and came out with 250 HP. So I think there is a fair shout here, and I'm only guessing, but I think this could be another one of those Pokemon with really high HP. I think Dragonite's going to have 250 HP. I think it's going to be a monster. It's going to be a dragon type, but that's all we can say. Now, one of the big questions here, and I wish I had an answer, I dearly wish I had an answer. Will we be getting a reprint of Double Dragon Energy? I hope so. If we have a look at the Dragonite from Sun and Moon, it's got Grass and Lightning Energy, which is frankly a little bit of a pain. So I don't know if we're going to be seeing this, to be perfectly honest. But I'd love it. It would help with all of these dragon Pokemon. As for Reshiram, I mean, if I had to give some kind of prediction, Reshiram loves outrage-type attacks. See the Reshiram from Shining Legends as a little bit of a comparison. So maybe we get an outrage-style attack. It's probably going to do a fair amount of damage, and it's probably fair to assume that when it does that damage, it's going to have to discard a bunch of energy to do so. But that's about the most I can do for predictions there. If we have a look at the Champion Road, we see that we are getting GXs of Salamence and Articuno. Now, this one's much easier. We know Salamence is a dragon type, which again would be another reason we would love to get some Double Dragon Energy. And we can see that Articuno is a water type, and we know that Articuno has an ability. Now, again, I can do nothing but speculate here, but I'm guessing that Articuno's ability has something to do with special conditions. Look at the Articuno that we saw back with the ancient trait, the one that came out in Roaring Skies with its chilling Psy attack that put you to sleep. Or the Articuno, the plasma one, which had paralysis. That could be fun. Again, nothing more than just random predictions here, although I feel quite strongly that Salamence is just going to do a huge amount of damage for a really awkward energy cost and never actually do anything particularly useful, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is what Salamence does. Although when these cards are revealed, hopefully in the next few days, do feel free to come back to this video and drop a comment saying how well or how poorly I did. And obviously this should go without saying by now, but as soon as these 4 GXs are revealed, I will of course let you know. I will do a video about each of the GXs, really breaking them down like I do for every new card that comes out, because that's how I'm wired. Now, the other thing we need to take a quick look at here is the Legend of Giotto collection. Now, this has been doing the rounds. I've seen this image in a number of places, but only over at pokebeach.com is there an image large enough that I can actually read Raikou Gx. Now, this new Entei GX is just a reprint of the old Entei GX, and it's fine, it's not great, it's not seeing a huge amount of play, I'm not particularly excited. However, I am very excited about Raikou GX, because Raikou GX is completely new. Suicune is being ignored again, just like we had Raikou EX and Entei EX, but we never had a Suicune EX. It looks like we're getting Entei GX, and we're getting Raikou GX, but we're not getting Suicune, although you can have a Suicune pin badge. Yay! And to be fair, Suicune's playable in Pokken tournaments, so that alone is pretty good. Now, being a lightning Pokemon is kind of good, kind of bad. The good news is you've got great symmetry with the Raikou from Shining Legends, which accelerates energy. The bad news is, although we can't see it yet, I feel 100% confident this is going to be weak to fighting, which means it's weak to Buzzwole. And it's weak to Lycanroc. And let's face it, the best Pokemon around at the moment is Zoroark. Zoroark is weak to fighting, which means a lot of people are going to be playing fighting Pokemon, which means people are going to be playing Pokemon that counter Raikou. 170 HP is about normal for a GX, although a tiny bit on the low side. And if we have a little bit of a look at the attacks here, we don't know the GX attack. By the way, my prediction on a retreat cost is 1, but I don't know too much. Double colourless energy, 30 damage with an attack called Dig Claws. It's alright. It's not terribly exciting. I mean, the sad thing is that the real lightning weak Pokemon that I think might see play in the near future here is Piplup. But there's a 70 HP Piplup, which won't get KO'd by this. Of course, I suppose you could do 120 to a Ho-Oh with a Choice Band, but at that stage, you're really starting to clutch at straws just a little bit. There is a larger attack here that we do know exactly what it does. It's called Thunder. For 2 lightning, 2 colourless energy, it does 150 damage. Flip a coin. If tails, it does 50 damage to yourself. It's very small, but I'm fairly sure that's what it says. Now, the great news here is that the amount of damage you're doing is good. We saw that Raichu did 160 damage, and that's really good. And it's a bit weird. Raichu does it for 3 energy rather than 4. But Raichu does automatic self-damage and is a stage 1, whereas Raikou is a basic, but does self-damage on a coin flip. Although being a basic, do remember you can use Max Elixir. This attack can also use double colourless energy, so it's not that difficult to get the energy on there, although the energy cost is moderately high. So what can we say about Raikou here? It's got potential, but that's about all we can say at the moment. I like the second attack, but it's not giving me a reason to play it over Raichu. Raichu's got Pachirisu and Snuggly Generator to help it get up and rolling, which gives it a clear advantage. And it's got Powerful Spark, which is much, much better than Dig Claws. So at the moment, I look at this Raikou and go, it's not really any better than Raichu. When the GX attack is revealed and we can see what it does, then maybe. But we're going to have to wait and see. It looks like it's going to be for 2 lightning and a double colourless energy, so it is going to be expensive. But other than that, we just can't quite see. But as with the other GXs, as soon as we have a clear scan of this card, as soon as we can see exactly what it does, you have my word, there will be a video breaking it down. And if all 5 of these GXs are revealed in one day, then I'll just be a very busy Wassy and you'll have 5 GX videos in one day. If I do that, please make sure you will watch them. I'll make you wait for some videos, but not new GXs, ladies and gentlemen. They are too exciting. So, that's the news I mean, if ever there was a video where predictions were needed, it's this one. Give me your predictions for any of these 5 GXs in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, that's why you should go to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. A new one went up today, and I might even do another one in a couple of days, so go and check out Patreon if you want to get hold of them. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.